What's up, Kim folks? Welcome back over here at the wood lot. This is loading station right here, and that's the winch on the stump. It's kind of grown up. Anyways, I need to get this one out of the woods, and I mocked up what the roof was going to be, even though all this is grown up, to get an idea of what I need. And that's 17 foot. You can't see it no more, but if y'all want to see all that, go back to season 1. There's like 41 episodes of cutting down trees back in here and dragging them out of the woods and all that good stuff. And this big tree was laying up there. Probably gonna make some siding out of this one. And I got some big trees over there on the other side, naturally debarking. You know what I mean? Looks to be all right. Anyway, since that 120-foot log rotted out, I'm gonna take 2 of them and splice them together. It's a little crooked down there, but it ain't rotten. I'm gonna get it out and debark it, probably, defungus it. Might even power wash it. You get that one out. Y'all know the ordeal. Like I said, if you ain't seen that, go back to season 1. Some old ingenuity type stuff. Anyways, I'm going to get these out, get them processed, and take them over to the homestead. And we're probably going to, I got to rip flat spots on all of these. And I'm going to rip that big one over there in half to cap it with. That'll be a 17-footer. And then this will be like, what is it? 27 feet. So we get our overhang on the front. Or it might be 30 feet. Well, all that being said, I need to shut up and get to work. Like I said, y'all done seen this over and over again. I'll show y'all when we start milling them up. I got one of those $20 beam mills where you put on a 2x4 just to make flat spots on all 4 top plates. See y'all tomorrow, Kim folks. It's too hot to be sweating. You creak crack out here. Yeah, boy, I'm gonna get this fan going, get this truck going, and get these logs out. Studs. Not a rain cloud in sight, Kim folks. We got a drought going on. I wish we could get some rain. Look at this here, Kim folks. Looks pretty good for a chainsaw mill. Got one of these attachments that go onto your saw and rides on a 2x4 or a 2x6. Vevor vertical cutting sawmill. I got that for like 20 bucks on Temu. Actually, I got it for 5, but I had credits built up. All that being said, yeah, it does pretty good. I just need a flat spot on these 6 logs for the top plate, so the joists will, I can make me a bird's mouth. I even thought about cutting it 5 inches the other way. The only thing tricky about this thing, I would say, is, I got a stake drove in the ground and a screw drove into that stake right there, if you can see it. And then, just visualize which side you want to cut off of there. And then get your board flat. I took my grinder and, anywhere there was a bump, I ground that flat so the board could sit flat. And you see I got wedges and all kind of stuff. And you just want to get it level on one end. It's not level now because I've been messing with it. Anyways, yeah, level on one end, and then make sure you're level in the middle. It is still pretty level. And then, level on down it. And they're pretty straight. So, it doesn't matter up and down so much as a straight line. And it's pretty clean for a chainsaw, I guess. It doesn't matter, it's a log cabin. But this is a lot easier than setting up that Alaskan mill with a ladder. I could just see you having a ladder on this little skinny log trying to mill it up. Anyways, all that being said, I guess I could demonstrate, cut off this last little bit, but I need to lift it up because my bar kept digging into the ground right there. I had to sharpen the chain. All that being said, I need to shut up and get to work. Got the saw cranked up already. Just had to get that one little spot. Couldn't get it yesterday. I guess that the plug fouled out. It is hot out here. But this is a little long anyway. Might have to cut that off. Anyways, yeah, for $5 is what I got it for. And if you get some credits built up, you can get it for $5 too on Temu. A lot simpler than an Alaskan sawmill. And if you had a like an actual 10-foot straight 2x4, you wouldn't have to do all this. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, and also when you think it's getting hot, I just got some recycled vegetable oil in this, and just pour that on there. You'd be surprised. It just speeds it right up. And that's my only tips, is make sure this doesn't move. Like stake it down, chalk it up, whatever you need to do. And then get your board level on one end. Make sure it stays straight. And then just put you 2 screws in there, because you can kind of use the 2 screws. Like if it's not level one way, tighten that screw up. If it's not level this way, tighten that screw up. And then put your wedge in there, or shims, whatever you got. See, I just got a piece of wood stuck in there, because you can't use the wedges on this side unless you got wood ones. You can just cut them off. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna have to do this on to 3 more of them. And as y'all remember, this log's not very good. I mean, I could use it, but just listen to that. You know what I mean? Listen to this. You can like hear the hollowness. I guess it was dead when I cut it down and I didn't know it, or anyway, so I guess I'm going to use a piece of my cribbing right here. I'm going to cut that down to 18 feet. and rip a flat spot on that, and then use this crooked one I saved, flat spot on top of it, and then that one that we drug out of the woods yesterday. Actually, I drug two of them. One of them's fat, and we're going to try to rip it in half with this thing, and that'll be our 17-foot caps. So we'll have a flat spot for our ridge, you know, our gable ends on the front and back. Just makes more sense that way. Instead of trying to put something square on a round log, just make you a flat spot, level this up. That's the most important thing, is to have your roof square and level. Rest of the cabin, it really doesn't matter. And we might do 16 footers if I can find them. If not, we'll probably do, 10 footers and splice them together. It doesn't matter. As long as we can get it done, kin folks. Well, I just figured I'd show y'all and give y'all some tips on how to do that. Because I've seen a bunch of videos and they really are not specific. They just, watch me do this. Hey, who cares what you're doing? It's only going to take you like 10 minutes to rip this thing. But it takes you 30 minutes to try to set this up level and straight. If not, you end up with a shitty ass cut. That's what I suggest. Take more time setting this up straight and level. Because if this is crooked, your cut's going to be crooked, if that makes sense. Anyway, kin folks, it's hot out here. I'm going to get this one undone, get that one ripped, and then after I get these two, I'll just move them over there, and then I can cut this log right here. Oh, it's good and dry. Not the straightest thing, but neither is that one, so beggars can't be choosers. We ain't got another year to wait for one to see if it's going to be half rotten or not. Old rot woods over there. Alright, kin folks, I done blabbed my mouth enough. That's the progress report on that. If it wasn't so hot, I'd show you more. But there's like 1,700 videos of guys just using this thing. I'm just trying to give you the tips that you need. Because, I only took, this is 5 inches. There's barely any taken off of there, you know what I mean? Just to get a nice flat spot. I mean, if you had an Alaskan sawmill, you could do this. Then use your mill to mill up boards. So you wouldn't even have to mess with no gigantic ladder rail system or ladder. That's what I used on making that center beam, was the Alaskan mill. And that's the most awkwardest, bulkiest thing to try to keep still. Yeah, this is a lot better if you ask me. Alright, kin folks. Let me get this done. I'll show y'all the end result. And then we're going to try to figure out how to finagle them up here. Because this is going to cantilever out 9 foot. Right there. And then they'll be half lapped. And be cantilevered out 4 foot. Thinking about putting the balcony back there. Little mini lodge since I got to do all this. Still ain't got them logs out of the woods yet? Yeah, I did. Look at this here, kin folks. Got these pulled out and debarked with the old Timu debarker. Or it's actually like an edger and a pruner, but yeah, that thing works good for taking the bark off. Oh, yon. Yeah. Makes you tired after you use it. Anyways, yeah, just power washed them after I debarked them, and then, took the pump up sprayer and sprayed them down with vinegar and bleach and water. And after a couple days, this is what they look like. This one's a little skinny on the end, but we can work with it. I guess I'll just mill this side off with that vertical beam mill I got. Yeah, and this one will be the end cap for the 17 footers. I'm gonna rip it in half like I was saying, and then square up one side so you know the gable can sit flat on the face. Yeah, it's a little crooked, but she's a fat one, boss. That'll make 2 good logs. Anyways, I need to get this one ripped down. Dang, Ken folks. Over here in the pines, ain't much sun in the shines. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a little bit. Anyways, over here at the loading station slash debarking stash slash milling station, if you know what I mean. These are the things I have, and I'm trying to accomplish a flat spot on this log. Probably this side where it's got this big old bump. It's not quite 5 inches, but it's about 3 inches long, so I'm hoping, yeah, I can rip that off and it'll be fine. I ain't got much choice at this point. This one's too big. Oh well. Like I said, was going to take it over there and mill it like I did the other ones. I know I didn't show y'all much of that, but since I've learned how to do it properly, I done milled up all 3 of them over there. 2 19 footers and 1 17 footer. And this is my other 17 footer. Anyways, I figure I'd take advantage of a fan and all that good stuff, some electricity. Why I could. We need to get this one ripped. A flat spot on it, 5 inches wide. And get it over to the homestead and get it stained and everything. Already put dinosaur juice on the other 3. Yeah, I've been doing stuff without y'all. I got the trailer over here and ready to load it up. Hopefully the old winch on the stump still works. I'll shut up and get to work. I guess I'm going to take this thing and cut it in half. My practice notch log. Cut it in half and then prop this up on it and get it staked so it doesn't move. And we'll try to rip it right here and I have a fan blowing on me. How about that? It ain't but 100 degrees, kin folks. Hey, you turn the fan on. What's wrong with you? Just said take advantage of it. You don't have to excuse the wind noise. But yeah, anyways, get it lined up where you want to take off. That looks pretty good. Because we'll mill off that crooked part. And then put you a stake or something on this side. And then what I've found is, yeah, you measure your 5 inches and it's about 3/4 between your 2x4 and the bar on the chainsaw. So you need to mark your 5 inches and then space it 3/4. And then line your 2x4 up with that, your 3/4 mark. Maybe right. He said he's gonna measure it out for me. Yeah, that's right. Be on that and make it moldy, make some mushrooms grow out of it. Baby's right, huh? That's right at 5 inches. So we're gonna go 3/4. Rock had to come say hi. Anyways, all that being said and done, like I said, yeah, mark 5 inches. And then come back 3/4 from that. And then, you know, the space in between that jig and the bar is about 3/4. And then take your level, kind of line it up with your 3/4 mark. Screw your bent screw in. And go down to the other side. Bolter in. Always front, folks. And once it's a whole process, folks. It's hot out here, boss. Let me get some sweet tea. Alright, y'all get the idea, folks. I'm just going to get this level all the way down that board. And then you should come out with a 90-degree cut. Sorry, I got the dry mouth. Shut up. Like I said, yeah, just get it level all the way down. Make sure your board's straight as you can. I mean, that's hard to do. It's just a log cabin. It ain't got to be straight as an arrow. All that being said, I'm going to get this done. I'll get y'all back on for the action. How about that? Yeah, anyways, folks, once you get that level, then your cut should be 90 degrees with this chainsaw. Hey, I done 3 of them. They're pretty good for a chainsaw if you keep it sharp. Anyways, these little bolts on here, you got 3 of them. And when you're tightening this up, when it starts to get tight, just tighten them in increments, like one at a time, slowly. And I'd say after each cut, sharpen your chain and check these little guys. Just give them a little snug up in a star pattern, if you know what I mean. Anyway, shut up and get to work. Hot out here. The saw don't want to work. that, kin folks. Like I said, it takes about 10-15 minutes to rip it. It looks okay. You ain't never gonna see it. It's gonna have rafter tails sitting on it. Top plate for the cabin. Alright, kin folks. I'm gonna take me a little breather. Then we'll put this thing on the trailer and carry it over to the homestead. Oh, you just like a supervisor. Show up right when all the work's done. Oh, right. Uh-huh. Exactly. Anyways, got all my tools up, kin folks. Looks like a storm's coming. Was gonna take it over there today, but that really don't make no sense. I guess I'll get it loaded onto the trailer of rock, but to get the trailer over here, nah, I guess I'll just manhandle the trailer over here instead of cranking up the truck, wasting gas and all that good stuff, just to load this on the trailer. I could probably lift it up onto there. Not bad for a chainsaw mill, kin folks. Alright. I'm just procrastinating. Don't want to lift that dang trailer up. Everything's fine. Everything's just fine. It ain't hot or nothing like that. Like I was playing, kin folks. There's about 7 of them. Little guinea wasps. Yeah, mess with me, I'll kill your whole family. I probably got stung like 10 damn times just trying to get my trailer hooked up. I ain't do nothing to y'all. Sons of bitches. Anyways, let me get this damn trailer in here. Ouch. I probably should be putting tobacco on my stings, but I was doing something. See what I mean about the heat aggravation? Everything wants to kill you out here. Ants, skeeters, 1,700 damn wasps in the tongue of the trailer. I could have used the wood on the stump and the payboard. There you go, kin folks. Looks pretty decent. Well, I'll get this over there and I'll show you all the other 3. Now we got 4 of them with a flat spot for our cantilever porch and maybe a back balcony, depending on how I feel. Either way, it's going to stick out the back 4 foot. Alright, kin folks. 1,700 wall stings out. I'll see y'all tomorrow. What you think about it, Rock? Hotter than the devil's anus out here, huh? It's been threatening to rain all day. Over here at the homestead, kin folks, look at this here. Got this one dropped off. Now I got 4 logs, and this one looks like it done dried up and went crooked on me. That's crazy. It's only been a couple damn days. Oh well, ain't much you can do about it. It was sure milled straight. Or it might be just because it's thinner on the bottom. I can't tell. Well, at least we got 4 logs with flat spots on them. Whether they're straight or not, who cares? Crook stick cabin by the highway, huh, rock? Yeah, solar panels, rainwater catchment, big old porch on the front, big old porch on the back, or, you know, a balcony up there. Might as well. We'll have a 5-foot overhang on the back and an 8.5-foot overhang on the front. And that's going to be fun trying to cantilever it over. And what, 18 feet comes about right there to that red mark. And then, like I said, about 5 foot, 5, 6 back here. So we'll be able to cut a little bit off that skinny end. And I'm going to meet these fat to skinny right here. Do probably a 6-inch lap joint. Well, all that being said, that's going to wrap this video up, folks. Y'all probably won't see much of that. It is hot, and I'm going to be struggling with the engine crane and got to take this on and off. I'll probably do this high side myself. And then once I get the hang of it, I'll show y'all the other one. If that makes sense. Yeah. That does make sense. I just run my mouth too much. Anyways. I'll see y'all next week, folks. Or probably every 2 weeks I've been doing videos now since it's so hot. I usually leave the dog at the house. But he does not want to stay over there by himself. Alright, folks. Till next time. LT out. Baby Rah says it's too hot.